All right, bit of an impromptu behind the scenes. What am I doing right now? Because I'm setting up to film something. Well, 2 or 3 things actually. Bit of a story. Not an exciting one, but I woke up this morning with no internet. No chance of getting it on. A day, maybe 2 days off. So I had to pivot because normally I'd be doing the ski job and ski sales are ticking over for January. So instead, I've had to pivot. I didn't want to waste the day. And so I've had to come down here and get ahead because normally what would be Friday is now today, because then once the internet's fixed, hopefully Friday I'll go back and do skis. So, do you remember I told you that I spent 250 quid on hand planes? Hopefully you do. This is them. What a stupid idea this video was. And I'm not exaggerating. I'm not trying to be all dramatic on this. Just let me move you a little bit and I'm going to grab my cup of tea because I need it. Whoever's idea it was to buy, well, what is 11 hand planes, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Whoever's idea it was to buy 11 hand planes, all of which needing setting up. I mean, you saw me do the vintage one, what, a month ago? Well, over the last 2 or 3 days, I've been doing these. And these here are a big pile of garbage. Well, no, that's going to put you off the video. And it's a bit exaggerated. What you have here is a big pile of garbage. No. How best to describe these is a big pile of garbage. No. Honestly, this is the benchmark. This is my Stanley out of an auction lot. 50 quid if you buy it brand new now on the internet. This is the thing to beat. The way I've set up this test now is that can you get a hand plane for under 50 quid, or a block plane rather? And they range from this little aluminium one for 9, this Spear & Jackson Tiddly one for 7. I forget the prices, but I think I spent £24 on this. We're going to laugh about this after the video, hopefully, because for now it's an absolute waste. This, anybody seen the British City Tools? This is the Banggood version of it. £35, 33, 34 pounds. One fatal flaw. This, the love child of a spoke shave and a block plane. Horrible, horrible plane. This I've kept this out. This is the iron. I don't know if you can see how skew this actually is. Let me get my face out of see, it's like anyway, and it's got all this heat damage on it, both sides, where it's been ground too fast. Yeah. So what I've basically done is spent 250 quid on, just a mess. I'll tell you one thing though, what I'm excited about: Japanese Suizan block plane. I think I've cocked it up, but what can you do? We'll see how it goes in the video. Anyway, each one of these has taken about half an hour to set up. So what I've been doing and why I've been fairly quiet over the last week is taking 1 a day, 2 a day, and trying to get through them, trying to bash my way through. They are now all set up. I've been doing that, finishing up today. I have to test them now. This is what I mean about buying a video. I thought what I was doing was making my life easier. Spending 250 quid, sure, but it would be a really quick, easy video. I could just bash it out. But of course I can't. I have to test them. Each one has to be tested for chamfering. Each one I'm going to do flush trimming, so like edge band trimming. And then we've got the 100 stroke challenge, which might need a better name. But I've got to find some hardwood, probably oak, that I'm going to do 1100 passes on. So that's not going to be easy. And I guarantee, I say 100 passes, I don't think there's many of these hand planes that will stay sharp that long. I need to see where they get dull and how comfy they are. It's more of a test for ergonomics. But look at the size of this. This is supposed to be a block plane, but this is, it's not far off a number 4. Look, really? I can get you in a bit. You've got perspective, obviously, but that's not going to do the sole any good. It's only about 1.5 inches short of a number 4. Bearing in mind this is my original Stanley. This is another centimetre shorter and like half the width. And then the other Stanley I got, which I thought would be a good comparison, is the same size as the Magnuson. Are block planes getting bigger? Or, anyway, I don't know. I don't know. I bought what I could get. Oh yeah, and this one, I think I told you about this in the last one. I bought from 2 different brands and the same blooming thing came. But here's a nice story. Neither of them were any good, but each of them had one good part. So, for instance, this has got the body from one because the mouth didn't open on another. It's got the iron from one because the other one was really skewed. It's got the, what would you call it, the cap iron from one because the other one was damaged. And so yeah, it's a Frankenstein of the two. And it is a direct copy of the Stanley that I like. There is a lot of content that will go into this that will make it interesting, but the sheer work that has to go in, I could have made something. I could have done a build. I could have done one that I enjoy. But you know what? It'll still be fun. It'll be good. And I'm going to get going now to edge band a load of bits of wood and get that done. Let me move these out of the way because I don't think I'm going to be testing them today. I think I've got another thing that I need to be doing today. And it's probably more important because it's for a more pressing video. This is going to be a video I've half done. It's a 3D print video and it's a little bit brave to put it on the channel because I think people are going to get cross because it is all 3D printing. It's what I told you about a couple of weeks ago where I said this is going to be the last throw of the dice to see if I need to set up a 3D print channel. Well, this video will really push people because I am basically doing 3D prints that work in the workshop. So things like a chisel holder, things like that. I've touched on this a few times, the pop-up bench dogs, albeit they are in this week's video, which is the Banggood tools, because one of them was a pop-up bench dog and it was terrible. I'm only touching on them and I'm going to put them in detail in their own video, a 3D print video. Let me show you the other things that I've done because you guys get early access to all of this. Give me a sec. I got some boxes of stuff. I showed you my my leafed chisel holder, the wooden one that I made in the old French cleat video. Well, I've done a mini version of it. So, I mean, it's basically the same, except this time the leaves all come out from the same hinge, which as you can tell isn't actually hinged. But I've brought it down here to show. This has come complete with magnet holes and it's got a recess where I can put some, let me show you. It's got about, each one of these has got 5 or 6 different accessories. So the middle of this has got a wide one for card scrapers. And once you put the magnets in, every single section has got this 1mm thick piece of plastic that you then glue on so that your chisels, card scrapers don't actually hit the magnets, or they all slide in nicely. So at the back of every single one of these gets a cover like that. Just showing you the biggest because it's easiest. Or I've printed off these tiny hexagon covers. You see, I've done hexagon holes for the magnets. Now, people have been telling me this is the way to go because the glue has somewhere to disperse rather than round hole, round magnet. So I've got some hexagon covers, but I've gone even further. So I printed a French cleat with reference pins that jumps off the back, that goes on the back there, jumps off the back. But I've also done a little batten that goes on the bottom, so it balances. Because obviously if you just have it on this, it'll rock on the wall. You put a batten on the bottom, keeps it all square. And I'm hoping these don't need any more tweaks, but you just never know. I'm sure I'll have made some sort of mistake that I'll find out right in the video. I've even, because these are held together by magnets, the tiers, I've even got little magnet caps that glue over the top of the magnets so you don't see them. That might be one step too far. Anyway, and then where that recess is, you can basically put an extra little bar in place to hold the chisels from jumping off. All in all, I'm really hoping that I've covered all bases. Oh, and if you don't want French cleat, my worry was if you glue this, if you screw this to the wall through the holes I've put in there, which are countersunk, so they won't get in the way. Yeah, thought of that. Right, if you screw it, my thoughts are, And I'll show you this with my sharpest chisel that's probably going to cut me. You see that the back of the handle is going to hit the wall. So, in the files, the holes match up. I got the battens. So you would screw through 2 of these, top and bottom, and that'll hold the handle away from the wall. This is one of my favourites, I think, because this is the small. It's basically designed for a set of 5 or 6 chisels. I've even done a separate back panel. See, the back panel on this one is 3 30mm gaps. But if you buy a set of 5 or 6 chisels, often there's an 1.5 inch one. So I've done a second version of the back where you can have 30, 25, 35, something like that, so it fits the wider one. So the idea here is it fits one whole set of chisels and a card scraper and a little something, be it an awl or whatever. Basically the card scraper didn't take up the whole middle. I've put the card scraper in because if I put 3 lots of chisels, all the handles will hit each other. This having that middle one means the front and the back chisel handles won't hit each other. So that's this. Let me show you its big brother. I've got to keep everything in the box because there's exactly one set here and I've got to get the scripting right, or rather I can't make a mistake on the scripting because I'm going to glue this together while filming and talking. So if it goes wrong, well, I'll have to print out an entire section of everything all over again, which won't be fun. So let me just pop this away. I've got a feeling this might be one of those days where I'm telling you I'm going to film it and then I end up talking to you guys, get excited about what I'm doing and then potentially don't film it till another day. We'll see. So the big brother, where is it? That's not it. That's the next one. Okay, so at this stage I realise I haven't brought down enough pieces of this because I've got to reshoot the whole of the first try, second try, third try. But this is the big brother, and this has taken on a bit of a world of its own, a bit of a life of its own, let's say, because this is designed to have 3 sets of chisels. Okay, so I've had to widen it. Now it doesn't have the bars in it, so it keeps squashing, but you can see that's a significantly wider from depth, deeper I suppose, and it's got 5 sections on each of the tiers, all offset. So the front and the back match, but the middle one is offset. Well, it's the opposite. So this smaller one means that the bars all get offset so the chisels don't bash against each other. But then I went down my rabbit hole. You know, the one I go down every other time. And I thought to myself, if I make it so that the magnets in each of the tiers sit further back, so I've only got 1 millimetre of gap behind them, well, then I can make the use of the fact that they're so far apart, these leaves, if you like. So I printed this, and this doesn't look like much, but you glue it on the back, right? Doesn't have to be that accurate. And then what you can do is you can slide your card scrapers, and the front magnets will hold the card scrapers to the back. So you'll have 2 sets of card scrapers in there. Or, if you don't want to do card scrapers, I've got a smaller one. That could be rulers or, well, rulers. I aimed it for rulers. It could be something else. Maybe rulers. Can't be chisels and stuff because it won't have the hold. But I thought that was quite clever. Yeah, 50-50. We'll see when I actually try and glue it together, whether that actually works. It's got all the same other gubbins. It's got the French cleat. It's got the covers for each of the sections that you can print off. It's got the hexagon covers should you need that. It's got everything. And then I'm hoping I've got the tolerance absolutely spot on with the bars because I've done a 4.2mm hole for a 4mm bar, which means I was getting a bit of tip when it was open because there was too much play in the joints. So I'm really hoping that its big brother or sister, you know, whichever way you want to look at it, is going to be good as well. And between me and you, I'm really hoping that a few people, like with all the other things we made, will buy the files. I've separated those two because I figure people don't want the small one and the big one. They just want one or the other. So I've put them as 2 separate batches. You've seen the pop-up bench dogs. I don't need to go through that again in depth because, albeit they're really cool, they are really simple. But I've got files there. In fact, everything but the chisel holders is live on the site now, I think. Anyway, not trying to sell to you, just happens to be the truth. Now the next one. This one is a tiny rabbit hole, but I went down it. So I did the 3D printed French cleat, and I love it. The little attachment that I attach on. Then I did, now these are all going to be mixed up. Then I did the extended one, which I've used for shelves. Then I put a knobble on it because that's what I use for clamps. You know, you put two together and you can clamp, you hang your clamps between them. And that got me thinking, because I've been saying in the first bit of the video, just screw a piece of wood between them. Well, why? Why not have different widths? Pull you down a bit here. Have different widths of printable blocks in between. All different widths. Some of these are the same, I get that. I apologise, I just went printing. But I'm hoping the widest one will hold a sash clamp. The smallest one will do your Jorgensen F clamps, or whichever F clamps you prefer. And what you do, where these have got the countersunk holes, so if you're going to screw them into a shelf or something that's on the wall that is long, sticks out, like I've got my hand plane shelves that have got drawers under them, you've got those. What you do, these have got pins on them. You turn it round and you actually use the countersunk bit to line up the pin, right? You get a pair, you glue it all together, and the pins keep you lined up and straight, and the different width is for different clamps. And I reckon I made these really beefy. I mean, people can print them out with as many walls as you want and thicknesses and all of this. And because the trouble I was finding, and I always find this is when I'm doing the clamps, is when you put a piece of wood between them and you're just screwing into it, your screws hit each other if you haven't got your holes offset, and it's hard to get it so that it's not, skew-if. Whereas these pins, you get a little play, but not much. And I really like this because I think that that is the most versatile file, because it can be a shelf holder, it can be tool holder, even to the stage that you can trim this down a bit if you want it to be a bit shorter. So yeah, that's where the clamps went, or the clamp holders. That's where I went with those. So I'm going to make a couple of these for the video as well, during the video. Some for I was thinking these wide ones, sash clamps. My sash clamps, I made those nice jewellery boxes. Well, when I had the leak, I didn't show it on video. It was one of those sad moments. One of my sash clamps jumped off the shelf it was on and landed on one of those boxes. So now one of those boxes has got a sash clamp dent. And nobody likes a sash clamp dent. Not me, especially in this case. And I hadn't done the B-roll for what I was going to use that box for. So I wanted to do some more filming of it. I can't now. So a little bit sad about that. I'll get around it. Anyway, so now if I can get my sash clamps hanging off one of these cleats, that's going to be better for everybody. So that's it. Impromptu video showing you what's going on. I might be losing my mind slightly from a day without any internet, but I'm really happy with the progress, and I'm going to get filming if there's any voice left in my throat. Wish me luck with the hand planes, because oh my gosh, I've got a lot of hand planing to do. I'll be like Popeye by the time I've finished. Anyway, whatever you're doing this week or next week, whenever I get this out, enjoy yourself, stay safe, enjoy your time in the workshop if you get it. If the weather's being horrible, stay inside. Take care. I'll see you on the next one. Cheers.